Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Laura Lely, and if it's your first time viewing me, thank you for stopping by San Diego. I promise it's going to be an interesting one today. Excuse me, drinking my carbonated water. So we are going to talk about the Mandela effect today. And the Mandela effect, for anybody who has not heard of it or lives under a rock, that is pretty big. Because I lived under a rock for a very long time before I came about this. And when I did, it basically shattered my reality at first. And so it may shatter yours. So I'm just giving you a trigger warning. It's going to change your life. It may or may not. I suppose it just depends on where your level of consciousness is and how you perceive reality. But the Mandela effect, and the definition is pretty mean. I will say it's mean because if it's a large group of people, how can they all have the same memory? But they're basically saying that the Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a large group of people collectively misremember specific details about an event or image, believing it to be true when it is not. Okay, so here's my first thing. A large group of people misremembering specific details. How does a large group of people misremember specific details when, let's say there is an accident and literally the people, come to the scene and then they start talking and asking you what happened in the accident, and people will give a different, like 5 different onlookers or people that saw the accident will have 5 different versions of the story. Okay? So they're seeing the same thing happen and they all see it differently. But this is a phenomenon where a large group of people collectively misremember something? I don't think so. Homie, don't play that. So this is why. This is like the big missing piece of us creating what you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. Our reality is telling us, hey, listen, you are literally creating your reality. And we're going to show you by throwing all of this stuff at you that remember when this happened, and then we're going to, we're going to make your reality, we're going to basically break your mind for a little bit so that we can put it back together the way it was meant to be. Because we did come here to create our reality. And that is why God put that so heavy on my heart. And when I say God, I mean love, unconditional love, the universe. That which created us and this experience wanted us to come here and have a creation within the experience they created for us. What if, so I did a video back in October. It was October 27th, 2021, called This is a Test. And at the time when I did it, I felt a little embarrassed to upload it. And I remember thinking, what will people think of me? And I have come a long ways since then, because it is really, really hard to not give a fuck about what people think about you. It's almost impossible. And so that being said, or at least for me it was, and I think it just depends on who you are and how accepted you were growing up and how accepted you are in life, in reality, in society, in the world at large. And when you start realizing it's not about being accepted, it's about having a good life. And if people don't accept you for wanting to make your life better, then do they really have a space? And I'm not trying to make this a mean video. I'm just trying to make this a video that says, hey guys, seriously, we are creating our reality, and reality is trying to show us. Reality is showing us just how freaking powerful we are at creating our reality by having these events that large groups of people misremember. It's not a misremembering. It's us changing reality as we know it. And so basically it comes down to realizing that nothing is what it seems, and that everything we've been told is potentially not the truth. I'm not saying it's all a lie. I'm just saying there's a chance that a lot of the things that we think are real in this reality are not. And that's kind of cool when you start to think about, I sit here and I think all the things that I've asked God for and I've begged for, and then I ask how do we make this happen? And it's like everything keeps leading back to you are creating your reality. And so it's up to you to create what you desire through your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. And Nikola Tesla said that everything is frequency, vibration, and what is it? Well, whatever it is. Those frequencies, our vibration, our mindset, our frequency creates our emotions. Oh, frequency, energy, and vibration. So everything is energy, ultimately, right? So I'm just having a lot of full circle moments. Like, it's, I'm just going to finish reading. I told you this is going to be a wild ride. And do you know me? My videos kind of go all over the place. And I'm sorry, I'm going to try to get back on track here. But the Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a large group of people collectively misremember specific details about an event, believing it to be true when it is not. Ultimately, here's the rest of it. The term was coined by Fiona Broome after she discovered that many people shared her false memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison during the 1980s, despite him actually passing away in 2013. Nelson Mandela was the South African anti-apartheid activist and politician who served as the first president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by fostering racial reconciliation. So he was kind of a big deal. And so for people to remember him dying in 1980 would have meant that he never became president, and not only becoming president, becoming the first Nelson Mandela served as the first democratically elected president of South Africa. He was the first black head of state in South Africa's history and focused on national reconciliation. Apartheid, I'm not sure what that is, but either way, I mean, he was kind of a big deal, let's say. So this brings me into what I was just going to say about parallel realities. And you'll hear stories about people having memories of these lives. And another thing, okay, here's what I think. Okay? I think that because we are eternal beings, not this body per se, but the spark that animates this body is eternal, and goes on and may not always come back to earth to have another incarnation here, but potentially goes to another planet to have another incarnation, or chooses a different body altogether that isn't even human to have an incarnation. Or eventually we get past the wheel of reincarnation, the karma cycle, and we become one with the creator again, or with the source that brought us to this experiment or experience, call it what you will, the grand experiment, they say. Okay, so what I was going to say about reincarnation, yes, these bodies die, but our spark, our life force goes on. So I'm starting to think that maybe that's what a parallel reality is we may pass away in this reality, but then we go on to another reality. And maybe the Mandela effects happen when we've crossed over to another reality. Crossed over. Why do they call it crossing over when we pass away? When this body passes away, we're just crossing over into the next dimension. And maybe that's part of the game and the levels of the game that we are here to play, okay? And do you know how hard it is to not care what people think about you talking about this kind of stuff? It took me a really long time to even be able to talk about it. And now I realize I'm only holding myself back and my ability to have a better life by not talking about this kind of stuff. So it's time. The time is now. Everything that I've been learning about, creating our reality and having a higher vibration and, raising our vibrations in order to have a better life. God's been giving me all of the keys. And when I say God, I mean the creator of all that is, was, and will be. Could be light. We are fractals of light. We are sparks of light animating these bodies, having a human experience, but we are spiritual beings first and foremost, okay? So remember that this body isn't your only body. You've done this a billion, maybe a million, maybe 100, maybe 1,000, maybe 50, but you've done this before. And when you start to realize that maybe this is a test, and maybe everything that we are experiencing in this reality is actually a test, and that we should really realize, be more self-aware of how we are treating ourselves and others in every now moment. And that's why the now moment is so important, because the message I had gotten a while ago was, we can only create from the now moment. We can't do it from the past, and we're not going to do anything in the future because we're not there yet, right? And that's why nothing is set in stone. We are creating our reality as we go with our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. And I wanted to give a couple more examples quick of the Mandela effect, just to say, if you're aware of it, that means you are here to create your reality, okay? That we are all here to create a better world for ourselves, individually and collectively. So we can do it on an individual level, but we are also doing it on a collective level. And the more of us that wake up to the fact that that's why things just seem a little off, just doesn't things seem a little weird? I remember driving in the car with my mom one time saying something about how weird this world seemed, and anytime I would say things like that to certain people, they want to just brush it off like it's nothing. And it's like, I've been really just told to mind my business and just stay quiet. And it's like, you know what? No, I didn't come here to be quiet. I didn't come here to not make a splash. That's not me. You know me. You know I'm not going to stop. So if you guys think I'm weird, fine. I don't care anymore. I don't care how weird anyone thinks I am, because the thing about this reality is everything is going to try to stop you from trying to figure it out. Everything is going to try to stop you from believing in yourself. And so when you can just finally say, look, I love you where you're at. Could you please just love me where I'm at? And if you don't, that's fine too. I don't care anymore. I just don't. I mean, I care. I love you all. But I'm not going to sit here and stop living my life and play small because somebody else's feels like weird, thinks I'm weird. Who cares? Yeah, I'm weird. I've been weird my whole life. Now I'm just going to accept it and live it and be it. Okay? So here's my weirdness. And it's not even that weird. I just think, we're just told everything's this one way and we're supposed to believe it. And don't you ever just have questions about things and think, yeah, that just doesn't really jive with how I feel. And that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what, unconditional love. When we feel unconditional love, we are at a place of creation, because that's the void, that's the neutrality point. I just have a little story about the Mandela effect. I went to a conference, and so I kind of went away from this topic for a little, almost a year, because of a situation that made me feel sad. I'll just say that much. And the reason I say that I think this is kind of a game is because there are going to be things that feel so real and sad and hard to deal with in this world, in this reality. But when you start to realize that our Creator, the one that we came here because of, that we were created in their image, potentially, wants us to be happy and wants us to feel happy and do be and feel all the good things. To be successful. And we are all deserving of the good things and of the success. Once we just cut off all of the ties that want to keep us stuck playing small and feeling sad for ourselves, or feeling sad about things that happened in our life, when you know what, those were just lessons and experiences that were supposed to happen to get us to go, oh, I deserve better. Oh, that was not for me. Oh, if this person doesn't feel the same way about me as I do about them, then that's their loss, not mine. And I am worthy of a true, happy relationship. And so is that person, maybe just not together. And sometimes it takes a long time because you really, in your mind somehow, or your heart, and I feel like there is some devices that are out there that can put storylines into our head to make us feel a certain type of way. And those are also, in this big game that we're playing, those are also points that are meant to be these specific challenges that we have to overcome, these hurdles that we have to jump over and say, okay, I see you for what you are. You're just another one of those algorithms. You're just another, and not to be rude, not to be a jerk about it, but to be kind to your heart, to be kind to yourself and say, you know what, I see that now this was just part of the experience and we had to get that out of the way so that maybe we can eventually move past that and work together as game players in this experience, because we're aware of what's happening and there's not many of us that are, and it's time to just let bygones be bygones and move past things and just, keep playing the game if that's exactly what we're here to do. Be way showers, assist others, help one another, love one another, accept one another where they are, and just say, this is something that we're meant to do together. I don't know if any of this is making sense to anyone, but what I'm trying to say is this life is kind of a game. And the Mandela effect is here to show us how reality is malleable and that it is fluid and that things are ever changing and that nothing is set in stone, not even history. And that's why we shouldn't be so hung up on the past, because it's nothing that's going to affect us in our now moments. It's just holding us back from moving forward and living our best lives, okay? Also, In Vogue, a song that came to me to read the lyrics, to say, it's in vogue, free your mind and the rest will follow. Basically, it's saying, open your mind to the possibility that the world that we are told the way that it is isn't exactly the way that it is presenting, right? And think about how nice it would be to, if we do know this, that it really doesn't have to be the way it is, we could make it better. Then why aren't we? Doesn't that seem more exciting than just, yes, it is a little shattering to your mind to find out that reality isn't what we've been told, but it's also very freeing when you realize that you can have a better life than what you've been living, okay? So, the song is In Vogue, Free Your Mind. Prejudice wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. I wear tight clothing, high-heeled shoes. It doesn't mean that I'm a prostitute. No, I like rap music, wear hip-hop clothes. That doesn't mean that I'm out selling. No. Oh, forgive me for having straight hair. No, it doesn't mean that there's no blood in my hair. Yeah. I might date another race or color. It doesn't mean I don't like my strong black brothers. Okay, I don't know why I'm singing it. Oh, why must it be this way? Before you can read me, you got to learn how to see me. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. This is basically telling you, stop seeing the world in color and being so judgmental and saying that it can't be this way because you were told it's this way and it can't change and it's not possible, okay? Because you're literally putting the, you're capping yourself from allowing your life to be any better by saying this is what it is, and I refuse to believe it could be anything different, okay? So free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind and the rest will follow. Or be colorblind, don't be so shallow. Be like a child. Kids, they don't see color, they just see their friends. We got old and we got judgmental and we got all jerky, and we don't need to be such jerks. We need to love one another and just say, hey, I accept you where you're at on your journey. We're all at a different part of our journey, but we can all help one another if people are willing to listen and if people are willing to free their minds. So I'm asking you to free your mind and allow this information to come in. And if it doesn't hit right away, fine, maybe in a year, maybe in 6 months, maybe in 3 months. But if you see the way the world is changing, and if you don't like the way it's going, just know we can make it better. And we are here to make it better, okay? I can't believe I've already been talking for 20 minutes. Okay, just trying to see if there's any other words that I just feel like free your mind, okay? That's all I'm asking you to do, is free your mind a little. And then the other song that came to me when I was looking up this song was, ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by on just a smile. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I always remember you like a child, girl. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two, because I never want to see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl, but if you want to leave, take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there, but just remember there's a lot of bad, and beware, beware. And I know I can't sing, that's okay. He can't keep a steady beat, you know, like the 30-point buck. I get it. I get it. I have accepted it. I love music, and yet I've been, for some reason, not tone deaf, but maybe that's it. However, I am confused about this. I was Cinderella in a middle school play, so I had to have been able to sing back then, and I think something, maybe we shifted into a timeline where now I can't sing, or like that timeline I was like the Little Mermaid and my voice got taken and given to some evil witch. I'm just saying, anything is possible. When you start to believe anything is possible, maybe it's possible. Maybe someday I'm going to shift back into that reality where I can sing, because I love music so much. Okay, so oh baby, baby, it's a wild world, and it's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh baby, it's a wild world, and I'll always remember you like a child. And so what I'm saying about this wild world is start to live like a child, and open your imagination up, free your mind, and allow the world to be what you desire instead of what it is, because we already see what it is, and if we don't like that, we don't have to keep it going like that. We came here to create our reality, and reality is showing us that reality changes through the Mandela effect, and that is what is a big key in us having a better reality. We didn't come here to have this. The reality itself is breaking down and knocking at our door saying, hey, look at me, Luke, I am your father. And now it's, no, I am your father. And if you are, any of you are a Star Wars fan, then you know it was, Luke, I am your father, okay? But in the reality that we currently exist in, it has never been that has never been the line in the movie, okay? You can go YouTube it right now and watch it and be like, what? If you've never heard of the Mandela effect, but I'm guessing by now you have, because it has finally kind of picked up pace a little, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. It's picked up a little more traction is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so how masses of people can have the same false memory. So that this is where it gets a little interesting, and I'm not quite sure. I think it has to do with our frequency. What frequency are we on? What level, what vibration are we in? And as we raise frequency and vibration, parts of our reality change. So I don't know if that means we're collectively raising in vibration, or if we are collectively creating with a specific group of people, but we haven't been told that. But the game players or controllers, people who are not controlling, but are the creators of the game, per se, they are the ones who are aware, so then they can keep an eye on which group of people has which memories. And anyways, Sex in the City, or Sex and the City. I always remembered it as Sex in the City. My cousin loved it, and also when I went to school for golf course management, had an apartment and I roomed with this guy, or we shared an apartment, and his girlfriend literally brought over her DVDs of Sex in the City, and now it's Sex and the City. Why would it be Sex and? Are you gonna, okay, sorry, just wondering, asking for a friend. You know that creepy phenomenon where some people remember why is it creepy? Everything in this world is telling us to be scared. Oh, fear this, fear that. Stay in this low vibration of fear and don't believe that the world can change. But yet you see people from history and they do things that actually change and affect the world for the better. Now there are some that affect it for the worse, right? Which side of history do you want to be on? That's all I'm asking. So you know that phenomenon where some people remember historic events different than others, like when people thought the classic kids book was called The Berenstain Bears instead of actual title is Berenstain Bears? What? Yep, weird event is called the Mandela effect. So yes, they want to make it seem weird. You know, everyone wants to fit in, and so what they're gonna do is make this phenomenon seem really creepy and weird and whatever. And it's like, you know what? I get it why God put this on my heart now, because I don't care. And I didn't care for a long time when I was younger, and then I got older and I cared and I cared and I cared and I cared so damn much it broke my heart a million times, okay? And now I'm back into the realization that you can care, but we need to detach from the outcome, and we need to allow ourselves to just be able to observe without being caught up in everything, because that's when our emotions, which are creating our frequency and our vibration, if they get affected and they're constantly like up and down, we're never on the same vibration and we're not creating a better reality because we keep getting pulled back into these lower vibrations, okay? I hope this video makes some sense. You know, I'm not big on editing, at least right now, because of the software. I need better software. I need to figure it out. I don't know why I'm telling you all of this. I'm asking you to try to bear with me. Another song that came in, or that has been coming across my radar for the last few days, and I read the words, kind of goes along with it, which is Kanye West. Wait till I get my money right. I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'd be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny. And what do? Act more stupidly. Bought more jewelry, more Louis V. My mama couldn't get through to me. The drama of people suing me. I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me, and I'm saying how I feel. Man, I ain't one of the Cosbys. I ain't go to Hillman. I guess the money should have changed him. I guess I should have forgot where I came from. Anyways, you know, a lot of our world, well, let's be honest, our world is driven by money. Money is our source of survival, of buying goods and services, of paying for our cars, our rent, our mortgages, our food, our life, to sustain ourselves in wherever we are. We need the money, right? And when we start to realize that it is a tool instead of all of the weird sayings that people hammered into our head growing up, money is the root of all evil and doesn't grow on trees, and you know, all the things that you hear, and it's like, those are things that get you in a scarcity mindset that don't allow us to start to create our reality from a space of love and from abundance, because we have to be in a feeling, in a mindset, in a place of feeling abundant in order to create more abundance. And so in order to create a better reality, which is what we're trying to do, right, in the big scheme of things, then we must be in a higher vibration, in a vibration of love, or at least unconditional love, which is neutrality, which is the void, which is where creation occurs, okay? 29:19 on the clock when I just said that. So yeah, we are here to get our money right, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be grateful for, to have gratitude for the money that comes into our life, and to speak kindly about money and speak highly about money, because money is a high vibration, and in order to get it, you need to be in a high vibration, okay? And money loves me, and I love money, and say all the things that allow you to get more money. God wants you to be prosperous. God wants you to be abundant. You have to desire it and love it and not be sad and feel like it's hard to get, okay, and hard to come by, and you got to work hard and you got to do all these things. It's a mindset, and we're here to change our mindsets. And when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at literally freaking change. How cool is that? Okay, so anywho, so yeah, get your money right. You got to get your mind right to get your money right, son. What? Okay, so some other examples of the Mandela effect. Basically, the Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believe an event occurred that did not. Well, I disagree. I believe that it did happen in a different reality, and that we are constantly shifting realities, and that yes, we are living in a quantum world, and it isn't just linear, and it just isn't just what we are seeing, and it isn't just what we are told. When we free our minds and allow ourselves to think bigger, to step out of that box that we've been so neatly packaged in, and we start to think for ourselves and believe that it can get better, it actually will get better, and it does get better. And God had put a lot on my heart to make me realize, hey, it's on you, kid, to get the heck out of this situation. You don't, it's like almost like it was like a challenge, like, okay, yes, you have very loud neighbors. Now what are you going to do about it, big baby? Are you going to be a big baby? Are you going to sulk and cry about it? Or are you going to just do something about it to allow yourself to find something better? And so I guess you are all witnessing me eventually making this something better. I do send them unconditional love, because you know what? They are at where they're at on their journey, and I'm at where I'm at on my journey. And right now we're just kind of colliding instead of neatly understanding one another. I just think everything, if you see it like a game and you approach it like a challenge and think, okay, yeah, I got this, I can figure this out, then, you know, you will figure it out. Eventually, we'll figure it out, because God does want us to be prosperous and happy and, you know, well cared for. And we are all well-deserving folks. And when I say God, you know, I mean light, love, creation, something bigger than that character in the Bible. And speaking of, I'm not going to go there. Okay. I was just going to give you a couple more Mandela effects. A Mandela effect. Notable examples of the Mandela effect. The story of Nelson Mandela is not the only example of this type of false group memory. And so it's funny, like whoever writes this stuff wants to control our thoughts from this moment forward, right? It wants us to believe they're just false memories. Just weird that a whole group of you had the same false memory, but don't think anything of it. Just let us tell you what it is. Don't try to go thinking for yourself now, okay? You stop that right now. You sit down, you free thinker, no, homie, don't play that again. Just, it's not a false memory. We don't know really what this reality is, and now we should see it as something more exciting and fun that we can actually go through and start understanding that we have much more of an effect on this reality than we ever believed, and that we truly can create better. And that's what we came here to do. That's my whole point of this video. Luke, I am your father. Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Now it's magic mirror on the wall. And at the time I just said that was 3333 on the clock. And if you know the snow, is that Snow White, right? I should have used my mouse. Mirror, mirror on the wall. If you watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you probably remember the line, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? But now you can see that magic mirror on the wall is instead, and it probably doesn't help matters, that Julia Roberts and Lily Collins, they starred in a live action film in 2012 based on Snow White, and they called it Mirror, Mirror. Okay, Oscar Mayer, which is funny because that's from Wisconsin, or the Oscar Mayer plant was in Wisconsin, and that's where I am, okay? Not sure why I'm getting all sassy, but I am. I'm very sassy about this because I feel like I've had a breakthrough where God's like, okay, look, I've been telling you how to create your reality. And remember when I woke you up back in like 2017, 18 and said, reality is nothing that you think it is, and that it is possible that it can change and that things can get better, and that, you know, and it took me through ups and downs and yeah, lots of places. Okay, well, there's a controversy of the spelling of Oscar Mayer, which I remember M-E-Y-E-R, O-S-C-A-R-M-E-Y-E-R, but it's M-A-Y-E-R. Wait, what is it? The correct spelling is M-A-Y-E-R. Yeah, I would have said M-E-Y-E-R. Oscar Mayer Wieners. Yeah, I said it. Oh, that made me think of one more song that came up. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Which I think that just alone, hey ya, hey ya. That feels like meditative to me, like for some reason. Like if you're having a bad moment and if you just sing that over and over in your head or hum it to yourself, there's something really beautiful about that, even though the actual tune it's from is Outkast, Hey Ya, which I did not really even understand the song, and I don't know if I should even do this. I don't know why I'm doing this, because it was here to do, I guess. My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure. But does she really wanna, but can stand to see me walk out the door? Don't try to fight the feeling, cause the thought alone is killing me right now. Thank God for Mom and Dad for sticking two together, cause we don't know how. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. And you think you got it, oh, you think you got it, but got it, just don't get it till there's nothing at all. We get together, oh, we get together, but separate's always better when there's feelings involved. If what they say is nothing is forever, then what makes, and what makes, then what makes, then what makes, then what makes, then what makes love the exception? So why, oh, 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 are we so in denial when we know we're not happy here? You don't want to hear me because you just want to dance. Okay, I get why the song's here now. Hey, don't want to meet your daddy. Hey, just want you in my caddy. Hey, don't want to meet your mama. Hey, just want to make you come. Hey, I'm just being honest. Hey, I'm just being honest. Okay, so, my whole point, or a big part of the whole point of this video, is we get so caught up in people, in relationships, in something outside of ourselves to make us happy, to fill the void that we feel is needing to be filled. And we fail to realize that we are here to fill that void with our creating the reality of our dreams, and then finding a counterpart to share our experiences with. That we don't get into a relationship to fill a void, but rather we are already happy as we are, and then allow somebody to come in and complement our already good existence. It is more fun to experience this life with somebody who gets it, who gets you, who understands, or at least is on the same page or wavelength, as they say, as you. Same vibration, you know? A lot of people get together because it's the right, you know, they meet in school, or they, you know, find each other good looking, or it's physical. And that sometimes doesn't last. And sometimes we have to cut the cords on things that don't last. Andre 3000 said that this song was basically kind of representing how people were dating in the 2000s, which was like, hey, I just want to get together, and, you know, I'm not trying to make this a forever thing. But then the other part of the song is that people get together and then they stay together forever, even though they're unhappy. And if you watch the music video, there is literally a casket, an open casket in the middle of the dance floor. And I never noticed that until I went on to the Genius or whatever to find the lyrics. Because they sent a viral tweet out asking fans for the real meaning of "Hey Ya." Anyways, people watched the video again and realized that there was an open casket. Because, yeah, the song is basically saying, now we're going to break it down. Let's see here. What's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. So basically, yeah, you just be with somebody and then you ice them out. And the girls are supposed to be like totally cool with this. And like that's life. And I disagree. I say, if this person only wants you for one thing, and you're not happy, you're like, well, how does this have anything to do with creating your reality? Well, you deserve the best, and God wants you to have the best. So if your reality is showing you that you're not happy and that you're not in the best of situations, that you can change it, and that the universe is here to assist you when you surrender and say, I need some help here. I would like to have my best life. Please guide me. Please show me the way. And you will be shown the way. And on that note, I am going to end it. Thank you all so much for being here. If you stuck around this long, wow, kudos to you. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Wake up and dream big. If you build it, they will come. I love you all so much, and stay classy, San Diego. I will see you on the next one. Love you, mean it. Mwah. Bye.